Earth has been struck by 7 supervolcanoes over the last 2 million years. But do you know what sets these volcanoes apart from your average volcano? And do you know how they differ from their slightly less dangerous cousins, the giant volcanoes? What makes a volcano a supervolcano, and why should we be afraid of them? Join us today in this episode as we discuss all you need to know about supervolcanoes. Hello, and welcome to our channel, where we bring you the latest news and discoveries from around the world. Do you know what's more destructive than a regular volcano, a supervolcano? These volcanic eruptions are one of the most powerful forces of nature, and they can have devastating consequences, not just for those who are unfortunate enough to be nearby at the time of the eruption, but for the entire planet. They're one of the worst things that could happen to humans, except for the things that wiped out dinosaurs. So let's talk about them. What is a supervolcano? It's a massive volcano that, when erupting, can blow over 1,000 cubic kilometers of ash and rock into the air. To put that into perspective, Mount St. Helens, one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the United States, can only blow out about 600 million cubic meters of material when it erupts. So even though we call supervolcanoes volcanoes, they're much more deadly and destructive. This is because these volcanoes have a magma chamber, which is huge. In fact, the magma chamber is so big that it can take thousands or even millions of years to refill after an eruption. The largest supervolcano in the world is called La Garita Caldera in Colorado. It blew up approximately 27 million years ago and had a Volcanic Explosivity Index, or the VEI rating of 8. Remember that Mount St. Helens, one of the deadliest volcanoes in the US, can only reach a VEI rating of 5. There are only 8 officially recognized supervolcanoes on Earth, and none of them are currently active. But scientists do believe that there are other undiscovered supervolcanoes hidden beneath the ocean. Now you might be wondering, how often do supervolcanoes erupt, and how likely is it for one to erupt today? Well, supervolcanoes are pretty rare. Luckily, there have only been 12 eruptions in the past 2 million years. In fact, there is usually a time gap of several 100,000 years between each eruption. For example, the time between the last eruption of Old Faithful and its next predicted eruption is estimated to be between 300,000 and 400,000 years. The next eruption of Yellowstone, another famous supervolcano, is expected somewhere between 600,000 and 3 million years from now. So, what causes a supervolcano to erupt? It's actually quite simple. Like other volcanoes, supervolcanoes erupt due to a buildup of pressure beneath the Earth's surface. But unlike other volcanoes, the magma chamber of a supervolcano is so large that the pressure needs to be extremely high before an eruption occurs. Basically, it takes a lot to set off a supervolcano. When they do erupt, however, they tend to do a lot of damage. In fact, scientists believe that one supervolcano eruption in Indonesia, known as Sumatra, which occurred about 75,000 years ago, may have led to the extinction of Homo erectus, an extinct species of archaic human. And another supervolcanic eruption in Tanzania, known as the Oldoinyo Lengai, might have played a role in the extinction of Neanderthals around 40,000 years ago. Now, it's important to note that these are only theories. Scientists aren't entirely sure if these eruptions were the main cause of these extinctions. However, they do believe that the eruptions may have contributed to it in some way. It's also believed that a supervolcanic eruption in New Mexico, known as the Taupo supereruption, which occurred around 26,500 years ago, was the most significant volcanic event of the past 50,000 years. And while it didn't cause the extinction of any species, it did have a major impact on the climate and environment of the region. Ash and debris from the eruption spread across the northern hemisphere, reaching as far away as Greenland and Europe. And the eruption caused such a massive amount of gas and aerosols to be released into the atmosphere that it led to a global cooling effect that lasted for several years. This, in turn, had a significant impact on the migration patterns of humans and other animals, and it's thought that the supereruption may have contributed to the extinction of several animal species. Supervolcanoes can come in different shapes and sizes, but they all share one thing in common. They have the potential to cause massive destruction on a scale that few other natural disasters can match. While it's unclear exactly how many supervolcanoes exist on Earth, scientists have identified several areas that are home to these potentially devastating geological features. Some of the most well-known supervolcanoes include Yellowstone National Park in the United States and Lake Toba in Indonesia. Yellowstone National Park is perhaps the most iconic supervolcano in the world. Located in the northwest corner of Wyoming, it spans an area of over 3,000 square miles and is home to a variety of geothermal features, including geysers, hot springs, and mud pots. The park is also home to a large population of bison, elk, and other wildlife. Despite its beauty and ecological importance, Yellowstone is also one of the most dangerous supervolcanoes in the world. In 1985, the United States Geological Survey began monitoring the park's seismic activity, and since then, they have recorded hundreds of earthquakes in the area. In the summer of 2021, over 1,000 small earthquakes shook the region in a matter of days, causing some residents to flee the area. Another famous supervolcano is located in Indonesia. The Toba supervolcano is one of the youngest supervolcanoes in the world. It formed around 74,000 years ago when a massive eruption caused the collapse of the volcano's summit, creating a caldera that is now home to Lake Toba. The eruption is thought to have been one of the largest in history, with an estimated volcanic explosivity index of 8. Since then, the volcano has been relatively quiet, although there have been minor earthquakes in the area in recent years. A supervolcano eruption is an extremely rare event, but when it does occur, the consequences can be devastating. Fortunately, there are no supervolcanoes that are currently active. However, there are several volcanoes that have the potential to erupt supervolcanically in the future. Scientists monitor these volcanoes closely to try to predict any eruptions, so that people living nearby can be prepared. In the event of an eruption, it's important to remember that not all volcanoes will erupt in the same way. Some may produce lava flows that move slowly and give people plenty of time to evacuate. Others may produce ash clouds that pose a threat to air travel and public health. Still, others may cause pyroclastic flows that race down the sides of the volcano at high speeds, giving people little time to get out of the way. No matter what type of eruption occurs, it's important to be prepared. Evacuation orders should be taken seriously, and people should be aware of the potential dangers of volcanic eruptions. By taking these precautions, we can minimize the loss of life and property and help ensure that everyone stays safe in the event of a supervolcanic eruption. And that's it for today's video. What do you think about supervolcanoes? Are you scared of them? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with those who might be interested. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to get notified whenever a new video is posted. The references and studies used in this video are added in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.